Hello, everybody, and welcome to Deweys Bingo. We're hoping that we get a good game going tonight. We got a few people already have cards ready for tonight, so that's a good sign. And if you're watching this as a recorded option, you can always click on the link to get a card and play along. And as long as you win before we win online, because it doesn't keep drawing after we have a winner. But it gives you a chance to somewhat play along if you're watching the recorded version. So everybody that's here, let me turn the music down a bit. It's kind of distracting even for me. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. And so we've got a few people in the chat here, hopefully. Well, hold on. I'm not seeing anybody in the chat right now. Well, I see Greg in the chat in StreamYard. I just don't see him in Bingo. So hopefully he's there, and everybody else. We've got some cards in play here. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different people with cards, and 3 people are showing online right now. So that's good. So we'll give a few more minutes, see if we can get some more people in here to play. And we're going to play some bingo tonight. Tonight's theme is cruise photos. The last time we tried to play this, nobody showed up but Greg, so he won by default. So he still hasn't seen all the cruise photos. So we'll get a chance to hopefully play that tonight. These are just kind of photos of things you'll see when you're on a cruise, as opposed to earlier I did one on cruise pictures, and that's just pictures of different cruise ships. So this one would just be as if you were traveling on a cruise and you took pictures. These are the kind of pictures you'd probably see. Okay, let me see here. Okay. Dean says he's having a hard time in chat. If you're in YouTube, you should be able to chat. There's a box that says chat. You click on that, and that gives open up a box so you can chat. Oh, if you don't have an account on YouTube, you won't be able to chat. No, you have to have an account already existing on YouTube in order to chat. So if you don't have a YouTube account, you won't be able to chat. Okay, let's see how many. Okay, we've got, I see Paul joined us. Welcome, Paul. Okay, we got 5 cards in play. I think we'll go ahead and get started because we don't know how many people may show up, but hopefully we'll get some more. So today we're going to start off with simpler cards. Let me find the right spot here, because somebody brought up a very good point that some of the games are difficult to start off with one for the first game because people who aren't familiar with it, it's kind of deep and confusing and it takes a long time. So for the first game, we're just going to start off with a simple pattern. These are the 4 simplest patterns, and today we're just going to start off with the one that says normal. So that is basically, that's to help some of our new bingo players. Any line going across, up or down, or diagonal from corner to corner would be a winner in this game. So you can have any of the 5 rows, any of the 5 columns, or any of the 2 diagonals, but you only need 1 in order to win. So we will get ready to play some bingo here. So we got cruising scene is here. Hopefully you can get yourself a card and come play with us. Yep, I see you got a card as well. Great. you're just in time. We haven't started yet. We're just getting ready to start. So we'll get ready to play some bingo here. Okay, now you just click on if the photo comes up, you click on that photo to mark your card. And if you get a bingo, you win by just saying in chat, just saying bingo, and I'll be watching as well, so I'll be able to tell. So if you're having problems chatting, I should be able to notice that as well. So, okay, our first one is a swimming pool. Of course, almost every cruise ship has a swimming pool. Some of the river cruises don't, but most of the big ocean cruisers will have at least one swimming pool. They're not usually all that big, but they do have them. So, okay. Our next one is, oops, I forgot to put up the calling card. Hold on a second here. That's the problem when I don't have my two screens to play with here. I make mistakes a lot, so bear with me here. Okay, find the, okay, share screen, find the bingo caller. Okay, now we got it here in place. So, okay, so now we have the bingo card, the bingo caller showing on the screen there for you guys. So, our next one is a bad sunburn. And I know most of you have probably experienced a bad sunburn before. We were at a pool event today, and there's a couple of people had some good sunburns going. Not quite as decorative as this Batman emblem, but I got a good sunburn when we were at the private island on MSC because my suntan lotion, I think, was expired and didn't work very well. So then I'm still peeling a little bit from it, and it's 2 weeks later. Okay, our next one is entertainment. There's always a lot of entertainment on a ship. That's half the fun of going on a ship is listening to the bands and watching the shows and all that good stuff. Okay, our next one is a sunset. There's nothing quite about the only thing prettier than the sunset is probably a sunrise. It's hard for me to tell which one I would like best. I like them both, but I catch sunrises more than I catch sunsets. But sunsets are usually at dinner time, and I'm all about eating too. So, okay. Our next one are casino chips. Of course, when you're on a cruise ship and gambling, you get to play in the casino. You use those casino chips. Okay, let me see here. Okay, I'm checking the cards because it seems like there's kind of some issues on some of them. So, okay, I got one item in there that I'm not sure will show up. So, I got a wrong screen in there. So we'll see what happens. Checking the cards. Oh, I see Danny got online for his. So that's good. I'm catching you up, Danny. Okay. And let's see. Take a look at Greg's. Okay, Greg's all caught up good. And Dean. Yep, I marked the sunset for you, Dean. Okay, you're caught up. And Paul. Okay, well, you're caught up, even though you don't have any yet. But and Sharon, let me check your card too while we're at it. Okay, you're caught up correctly too. Okay, now we're back in action. So our next item is the ice show. Yep, some cruise ships have an ice show with an ice skating rink on there that they can multi-purpose. They'll put a floor over it so they can use it for a nightclub as well, and they even have free skating opportunities. So when there's not a show on, then they can they'll open it up so you can actually go ice skating like you can in the middle of winter or at an ice skating rink. So if you're on a big enough ship, you'll actually get to see one of those. Yes, Sharon, I'm a big fan of the casino. That's mainly how I afford to cruise anymore, is if I get offers from the casinos. Their next item is tropical drinks. A lot of people like their drinks on cruise, so there's some of your pretty ones to choose from here. Some people like a simple drink. Some of them like the real fancy ones with all the fruit and the colors in it. So the next item is dolphins. Quite often, if you look off at the front of the ship or even on the side of the ship, you'll see dolphins swimming along with the ship. That can be really interesting. And towel animals. If you've cruised before, you've probably seen a towel animal in your room, and some ships will have a day where one morning you'll get up there and all over the pool deck you'll see tons of towel animals. So some of them are very creative. Some of them you have no idea what they are. Okay, this is the one that I don't know how it showed up in here. This is my classic cars bingo card. But if you've got that on your card, go ahead and mark it. I must have got that in here by mistake somehow. So we still count. It has nothing to do with cruise photos. But oh, I see John is in here in chat. Good to see you, John. I hope you're again enjoying the bingo. Thanks for showing up. Okay, our next one is the theater. That's where most of the big shows are done, but sometimes they'll have smaller venues where they'll do shows. A lot of times the comedians will be in smaller shows, or it depends what the show is. But if it's a big theatrical thing, you're going to find that in the theater. That's usually up at the front of the ship. And we have pineapples. And some are right side up or some are upside down. And if you know, you know. I won't go into detail for anybody that might be insulted with it. Our next item is the life ring. You'll find at least one of those on every ship. Some people like to take the picture with the one for the ship they're on, but they're also there for safety as well. Okay, then we have the staircase. Sometimes you'll find the grand staircase in the central atrium. Sometimes it'll be in the dining room. So it just depends on the ship and what they have. Some of them can be quite elaborate. Then we have portholes. You don't have a balcony, and you may have a big window, or you may just have these little windows in your cabin. They can be interesting, but at least you get some light in there. If you have an internal room, then you don't have any light except for the bulbs. Yes, Sharon, we did call dolphins. Then we have the ship's anchor. And we have luggage. We always have to have our stuff with us. So some people carry just one bag, some will have a ton of bags. I tend to overpack, and so a lot of times I'll have 3 bags with me, especially if it's a week long cruise. Okay, I'm gonna go take a quick look at the cards now and see how things are going. Make sure everybody's caught up and doing okay. Yep. We don't want anybody to lose because they misunderstood what was happening. So okay, let's see. Okay, got Danny's caught up. And let's see, Greg's. Okay, Greg is all properly caught up. And Dean. Yep, looks like he's all caught up properly. And Paul. I think we called entertainment, so I'm going to go ahead and mark that one on your card. Okay. And let's see, Sharon. Looks like you're all caught up properly. And I see Danny has another card here, so let me check that card. Okay, Danny's all caught up. So now we're ready for the next one. Our next item is service animals. So you do find service animals. Yeah, I got you caught up, John. Don't worry. Your card is all caught up. And some of the cruise ships would allow other animals, but they're starting to get a little more insistent that they just be service animals because too many people were starting to bring on animal. You know, they call them a. I can't remember the name now, but they're not legally a service animal. They have, in order to get an animal on a ship now, you pretty much have to be legally certified as a service animal. And then we have souvenirs. Everybody's always wanting to collect souvenirs. Then we have a conga line. That's always a popular dance on the cruise ship when everybody goes hip to hip, and that's it. Thank you, Paul. Emotional support animal. A lot of people bringing animals on, calling them emotional support animals, and that I can understand that people have them, but they're starting to crack down on them because too many people are using that excuse to get away with it anymore. You know, when you see a little dog just sitting on your lap and because it makes you feel good, that's not quite a reason to have it on a ship with you for a lot of the cruise lines. Then you have a funnel. Carnival's famous for their funnels. They're with the whale tail shape. Some of them are just straight old round or oval. Checking the cards again here just to help things out. Please be patient with me. Okay, looks like the cards are caught up now. Okay, our next item is gourmet meals. If you're a foodie, you'll love the many different choices you have to eat on a cruise ship, and they are awesome. I mean, I love food. So, oh, looks like we have a bingo here. Dean just called a bingo. Let me check his card here. Okay. Yep, Dean definitely has a bingo. Way to go, Dean! Congratulations. Let's find the bingo winner here. There we go. Ta-da! We have a winner. Yay! Okay, let me go ahead and you don't have to download new cards. I can reset them from here. So let me go ahead and get things set up here. Okay, they are now scrambled and reset. And let me scramble and reset the bingo caller here. Okay, so now we're ready for another game. So, Dean, since you won, let me go ahead and put up the simple patterns here. First you have your choice. Do you want a simple pattern or a harder pattern? I'll put up all of the patterns there, so you can choose whichever one you want. You can choose one of the simple ones or one of the harder ones. Okay, and which one would you like? Let me put the simple chart back up here. Okay, let me see here. Okay, he's chosen the four corners one, so that's good. Let me go ahead and turn that off. Put the four corners one up in the corner there. There we go. So now you already have the free one in the middle, so you just need to have the four corners. All four corners have to be checked on your card to be a bingo winner. So let's see if we can get another bingo winner here. Okay, whoops, before I forget, let me go add Dean onto the spreadsheet. Okay, now I'm ready to go. Well, with this game, I don't really call B's and O's because they're all just pictures, so they can show up anywhere. But it's only going to be the corners in the four corners of the sheet. Okay, our first one is a ship's anchor. And our next one. Oops, I forgot to put up. Hold on, I got to put up the. There we go. There's the collar. Sorry, I forgot that again. Okay, the first one was the ship's anchor. Okay, our next one is formal night. That's some people just call it elegant night, or sometimes they'll just call it dress your best. Formal night isn't as formal as it used to be. In days gone by, it used to be people had suits and ties and tuxes and all that stuff. But nowadays, they pretty much you can't have. They kind of like for you not to have shorts and t-shirts. They'd rather you have a button-down shirt and dress pants. But even some ships aren't being picky about that. But I still like to get dressed up on formal nights anyway. Okay, our next item is the conga line again. And then we have the boarding ship, embarkation day. This is the day that you get on the ship, or even when you're in a port and you're boarding the ship. Usually, when you're boarding the ship, like in this picture, it's at a port that you're visiting. Usually, if you're boarding the ship at the very beginning, they have big gangways that look like airline or jet terminals and stuff coming out to the ship. Our next item is the fitness center. Practically every ship has a fitness center. Some are bigger than others. And so if you enjoy going to the gym daily, you can keep that habit up while you're on the ship. It's a good way to get rid of some of those calories from all the food that you eat, too. Okay, then we have the service animals once again. And the staircase. My favorites are on MSC. They got staircases with Swarovski crystals in the middle and embedded in them, and they're just gorgeous. Then we have the theater where they do the shows. And the officers, all the way from the captain on down to whatever level they go to. Sometimes they have quite a few. Many times on a ship, they'll have a night where you can meet the officers. Sometimes they'll just have them up on stage to introduce them. Sometimes you'll actually be able to go to a cocktail reception and meet them, shake their hands and stuff like that. And if so inclined, I guess you could get their autographs if you wanted to. Then we have a ship bell. Most of the ships all have their own bell. Sometimes it's quite a challenge when you're on the ship to try to find that bell. Many ships have many items that are difficult to find and become a challenge, especially for frequent cruisers who know about them. Then you have the crew members. When the crew officers, well, you have all the crew members, the ones that clean your room and serve your food and scrub the decks and everything else. And some of them people work awful darn hard, and I just hate to see when they're abused by any of the guests. So if you're on a cruise, make sure that you take the time to acknowledge the people that are doing the work, whether it's a simple thank you or pointing out that you like what the work they've done or leave them a tip or something. They really appreciate that. Then we have the towel animals again. Okay. Next one is an ocean view. A lot of people, that's what they like to cruise for because they just love that water. And you can't beat the views from either from on deck or if you have a balcony, from your balcony or from a window. And then you have the dining menu. The main dining room every night has a menu that's quite extensive with different your appetizers, your main dishes, your side dishes, your appetizers, and sometimes they'll even have specialty items on there. Okay, then we have the funnel once again. Excuse me. And the Panama Canal. Many ships, if they go from Atlantic to the Pacific, that's how they get theirs, through the Panama Canal. I've been through it twice, and I love it. It is so amazing to think of all the work that went into creating that. And a lot of times, if you go through the whole canal, they'll have somebody on the ship that tells you the history of it and how it was created in many different aspects. It's always fun to listen to those. And then we have the life ring again. Checking the cards real quick here. Okay, it looks like we're in good shape here. Okay, the next item, entertainment. I definitely love the entertainment on ships, whether it be a simple guitar player somewhere or a full stage production. I love the ones that have big Broadway shows on them too, because I love theater of all sorts. Okay, next one is my classic cars bingo one that snuck in on there on us. So I'll have to make a note to remove that one. So if we ever play this again, it's corrected. Okay. The next one is portholes. Those little bitty eyeballs in the side of the ship. Yep, Dean pointed out 39,000 people died making the Panama Canal. There's a book about it that I read before the first time I went on it. It was just amazing to hear all the details of it, because the French started it and then the U.S. took over it. And it is amazing what they do. Okay, Paul. Yes, I do like my musicals, I admit. Okay, next item is the pool bar. Some ships have them. You don't find it very often, but you'll find them often on land in different, if you go to resorts or to some of the different islands, they'll have pool bars where you can swim right up and order your drink, and you never have to get out of the pool. Now, that's the way to drink and party. And then we have seagulls. Those birds that are always, you got to be careful then, because they're always out there trying to steal your food. You leave your food sitting out unattended, you just very well might have them come swipe it. Yeah, next item are the casino chips. You know, I'm not sure, Sharon asks, what site are other people playing on? And I've noticed she's the only one showing up in the YouTube channel on Deweys Bingo. So maybe others are playing on, because I also post this link in Deweys Destinations as well as on my own YouTube channel. So, okay, all of a sudden, Dean says he can't hear me now. Is everybody else hearing me? Okay, other people are hearing me, so I'm not sure why you're not, Dean. I don't see anything from my end. So we'll continue playing here. And the next one is a whale. So if you are, especially if you're in Alaska, you have a good chance you'll see a whale. Sometimes it may only be part of a whale, but like a whale tail. I know a lot of times when I've been in Alaska trying to watch for whales, it seems like I'm always looking the wrong direction. So by the time I turn around, all I see is the splash from one. There was one time, the first time I was in Alaska, I was so busy watching through my camera to get pictures, I was missing everything. And there was one that came up right beside our ship. Okay, next one is a crowded elevator. They don't get quite this bad on the cruise ships, but sometimes they can sure feel like that. That people don't seem to understand elevator etiquette. They just bang on there even before other people get off, and sometimes it look like no room, and they'll still try to squeeze their way in, and then you get people with walkers or wheelchairs or strollers and all that stuff. And okay, let me check Dean's card and see what he's got here. Okay. Okay, you still have no winner yet, Dean. Okay, next item is kissing couples. That's always a romantic time on a ship. You'll see people that, some people, that's how they spend the honeymoon. Some people get married on the ship. Some are just in love and like to share the love. And then we have a deserted island. Of course, this one isn't very deserted. This is Coco Cay. There's lots of people on that one. Yay, Dean. Glad you can chat now. I'm assuming you can hear me as well now. Okay, our next item is the tropical drinks. Checking the cards now. Uh-oh, I think we got a winner. Let me check the other cards here. Yep, just check yours, Dean. You're not a winner yet. I got a couple more cards here to check. Okay. Oh, looks like we have two winners. Yes, we do. We have two winners. Greg was a winner and Sharon is a winner. So congratulations to both of you. Okay, let me find the winners thing here. There you go. Ta-da! Winner. Let me update the spreadsheet and get that. Greg's got another win under his belt. He's catching up with Larry now. And Sharon's moving up a notch. Okay, so we got Greg and Sharon. Okay, congratulations to both of you. Okay, so Greg and Sharon, now let me go over here and we'll put up the choice here. Whichever one of you comes up with the, according to what I could see, Sharon, let me check your card again here. Oh, wrong card. Yes, it was Danny's card that was a winner. I'm sorry. Yep, you were right, Sharon. You did need more. Danny was the other winner. It was Greg and Danny. Okay, congratulations, Danny. Sorry about that. Let me go make the corrections here. Okay. Thanks for speaking up, Sharon. I did look at the wrong card. Okay, so while you guys look at yes, Dean, you're right. We do need more honesty in America, so it's good when people do. Okay, so Danny and Greg, you both, whoever comes up with the first choice, that's the last. Oh no, this is the final game, so we play cover all that. So never mind. I'm losing my mind. It's been a long day. I spent the day at the pool again. Okay, so let's go in here and we'll reset the cards. Clear and scramble them. And we'll reset the collar. And that's ready to go. And okay, so we'll turn off the choices here. And we'll put up the cover all up in the corner. Okay, so now we're back on track. Let me bring up the bingo caller. I remember this time, Greg. Okay, so now the point is you got to cover everything on your card. Yeah, sorry, Greg. I forgot we had already played 2 games. So your new card should be on the same screen you had, Dean. All I did is scramble them up and mix it up. If you don't have it, then go ahead and click on the link and get a new card, and I'll give you a moment here. They should all be scrambled and mixed up. Yep. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. If Dean gets a new card, I'll help catch him up when he gets it. Our first item is a yacht. Now, the yacht is just a small cruise ship. Some of them can be pretty big and some of them can be kind of small, but we've seen some pretty cool ones in different ports. So, okay, the next item is the swimming pool again. Okay, Dean, I see you got your new card. Okay. So we've only called yachts and swimming pools. So yeah, next item is boarding the ship. Then we have crowded elevators. It's always amazing when you get in these elevators, they'll show like maximum capacity, like 21. And then you look at the dozen people you're in with, and it's like, how are they going to do that? They got to stack everybody? Next item is luggage. We always have our bags to carry with us. Some people have more baggage than others. And our next item is the life ring. Followed by the dining room menu. Then we have the service animals back. And gourmet meals. Yeah, I do love fancy eating, so I love to go to any of the new restaurants that they have, especially if they make gourmet meals. Virgin is good about that. I don't know if you call their food gourmet, but a lot of it's very different and very uh, interesting to try. Next item are deck chairs. You see them all over the ship, especially on the pool deck or on any of the outside decks a lot of times. I like the ones that are on the outside decks where it's more shaded and peaceful, so you can just kind of sit and relax and watch the water. Then we have the pool bar. Yes, Greg, the gourmet meals can be very tasty. And the fitness center. You don't find me there very often unless I'm taking pictures. I admit, I am a lazy thug sometimes. And the staircase. And the Panama Canal. This picture here was actually I took from the ship I was on the first time I went through it. So you could go out right out there at the front and watch it. I was up a deck or two above that where I had a better vantage point to get the picture. Then you got a telescope. Often the ships will have big telescopes so you can look at the stars. Sometimes they're just the small telescopes like you use for uh, like an observation deck so you can see things that are far away, like a nearby shore or an island or something. And the ice show. They do some pretty good ice shows. Most of the entertainers in there are former Olympic uh, people, so they do a very good job. And then you got the ship's wheel. One on the left is what you usually think about, especially if you think of like Gilligan's Island and the wheel. But then most of the on the real ships these days, they're on the right. Even that's a little more. A lot of the modern ones now are just using a joystick for stuff. Then we have the casino chips. John says his card didn't get updated. Let me check it here. Okay, John, I've updated, cleared and scrambled your card. Let me check it here and see if I can. There you go. Gourmet meals, pool bar, crowded elevator, fitness center. I think a ship bell, life ring, luggage, ice shield. I think I got them right. It's hard to tell. Nope, I got some that aren't right yet here. We didn't call the ship bell yet. On one screen, except it's real hard to see on here. It'll show me if one's marked incorrectly, and I had marked ship bell incorrectly on yours. So you should be caught up now, John. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, our next item is portholes. A lot of people aren't very impressed with them, but to me, that adds a neat little touch if you're sailing in a cabin with portholes. And I like having that little like window seat area there. You can put your towel animals, or you can just sit and read if you want. And then you got the kissing couples. I haven't been fortunate enough to be part of a kissing couple yet. So one day somebody will think I'm charming enough to help out with that. Then you got the funnels. And art auctions. There we go. That didn't show up in any of the previous ones. Most ships will have art auctions. And if you're an art collector, I'm not sure how good of a deal they are. Some people say that they're just a rip-off. Others, they sound like they could be a good deal, but I'm not knowledgeable about art, so it's hard for me to tell. But sometimes you can get. I like to go sometimes just because if you sign up to go to the auction, you can get drawings where you can win something. And sometimes you'll win a piece of art without having to buy it, and that's always fun. I've got a few pieces I've done that way. Then you got the crew members. They work their butt off so we can have fun. And the towel animals. I always think they're cute, especially if I can identify what they are. Some of them even get very unique, and you'll see some that you've never seen before. And when they do them out on the pool here, they do some really big ones sometimes that can be really interesting. And there's my classic car thing that's stuck in there. So if you get that on your card, go ahead and mark it. And the pineapples. Doesn't matter if they're upside down or right side up, whatever trips your trigger. I think most everybody knows what an upside down pineapple means anyway. Sharon, when you if you win something, I don't know if they pay for it depends what you win. Sometimes it's something you can take home with you, but if it's something that already comes framed and stuff, they do have arrangements to ship to you. And I don't know, I can't answer. I've never gotten anything that was framed, so everything that I wanted, I think it came home with me. So it wasn't big enough that it needed to be shipped. But I do know they have arrangements to ship things, and if you win stuff, I'm guessing that it would include that too. But a lot of times when you buy something, it may or may not come with a frame, so you can select a frame while you're on the ship, and then they will frame it and ship it to you. But I think there's a cost involved with that. So, okay, next item is a water slide. This one isn't on a ship, but you will find many different kinds of water slides on ships. Some can be quite scary, some are very simple. And the ship bell. This is from the Westerdam. And the seagulls. Beware your food because they will steal it from you in a heartbeat. I remember one time we were at a resort, an all-inclusive resort before cruising started back up. And somebody had brought some food from the buffet to the pool. As soon as they walked away from the seat, them birds just they just stole everything they could get a hold of. It was funny. Then you have the conga line. Everybody get in line in conga. And the dolphins. I haven't got a good chance to see dolphins from a ship. I've swam with the dolphins once. But the best shot I had is I was at the back of a ship because there were 3 other cruise ships in the distance I was trying to get in one picture. And while I was there, I could see dolphins at the front of the ship. So by the time I got to the front of the ship, the dolphins were gone. So I missed my opportunity to see them. But they like to often jump at the front of the ship while it's cutting through the water. So that can be quite a sight to see. And then you have the wedding party. Sometimes you'll have a full wedding party. Sometimes it'll be a bachelor party or a bridesmaid party. Then you have the theater. And then we have pool floaties. Sometimes they can be very small. Sometimes they can be big for all kinds of people. You don't find too many pool floaties on the ship because the pools themselves are so small. So generally, if they're pool floaties, they're usually the little kind for kids for safety. I don't even know if they allow big pool floaties in the pools because they are so small. Then you have socks and sandals. To me, when you have sandals, you shouldn't be wearing socks, but everybody has something different they like. So then you have a deserted island, which, like I said, this one's not very deserted, but I'm sure it was once upon a time before they built on it. Then we have the ship officers. And tropical drinks. And a bad sunburn. I remember one time many, many years ago when we went to St. Thomas. My best friend and I went to St. Thomas for a vacation once. And they always tell you, especially in the islands, that you got to be careful with sunblock because the sun is so much stronger down there. Well, we put sunblock on, but you can tell all the spots that we missed because we were so badly sunburned. Oh, we couldn't even put clothes on hardly the next day. We sat out on our balcony in just our underwear playing cards, and poor housekeeper come walking in on us and saw that, and she go, "Oh my, oh my!" It's like she just left. It's like we didn't even try to explain, but it was really hard to put clothes on with the sunburn we had. Then you have your stateroom or your cabin. This one is one with a balcony, but you can have suites, you can have balconies. I think, I'm not sure. Let me check, Greg. I'll see if staircase was called. Let me find the. Yes, staircase was called. It was called, Greg. Yes, and I did call the conga line too, Dean. So that one you can mark as well. Okay, let me go turn off the history there so not so distracting. And the next item is port signs. All the different ports often have these big signs you can take pictures by to show that you were there, and some of them can be quite elaborate and interesting. Then you have the promenade. On some ships, oh, hush up, Alexa. Sometimes the promenade it's almost like a giant mall in the middle of the ship. Sometimes promenade will be a deck where you can walk around the entire outside of the ship all on the same deck. And sometimes you have to do like 4 or 5 laps to make a mile. Then you have a marina. You'll often see marinas near where the cruise ships dock because that's where all the smaller ships go. I know here in Miami, there's a lot of marinas around the cruise port, so it's quite interesting to see all the different ships as you're leaving. Then you have ocean view. Next item is sunset. I've taken a lot of pretty sunset pictures. I didn't take this one, unfortunately. But some of my better shots are actually sunrises. If you've ever seen my Dewey's Destination logo, that picture was taken on my first solo cruise, and as we were coming into Costa Rica, and it was just gorgeous. Then you have the sail away party. Most of the ships have a giant party on the Lido deck, or where the pool is, and everybody's celebrating and drinking and dancing and singing, and it can get pretty wild sometimes. Then we have the ship anchor. You don't see them in use very often because most of the time people tie up to the dock, but they use that probably more often when you're at a tender port where you're not at a dock, and then they'll use the anchor out at sea to keep you in one spot. Then we got the whale again. And souvenirs. Okay, checking cards here. We got some people that are getting down pretty good. Oh, there's one. Looks like Paul only needs one more on his. Way to go, Paul. Let's see. Sharon's down to 2. Dean is down to, looks like 4. John is down to 2. Greg is down to 3. Danny's got 4 or 5. So let's see if we can get another call for formal night. Okay, who needs formal night on their card? And the next we have guest game show. These are game shows that involve the passengers on the ship. I've actually been involved in one before, in a couple of them before. They have one called Quest. Oh, that's right. This is Quest game show, not guest game show. I've been involved in a Quest game show where they'll break the whole audience up into teams, and you got the team leaders, and sometimes they'll ask for like some unusual item, or maybe they want to see the guy dressed up as a gal. When I was involved in it, they wanted the oldest person from each team and the youngest person from each team. And my team, or our team, I was the oldest person in the audience, at least one that admitted it. And we also had the youngest person on our team. So our team had winners in both ends. Then we have the entertainment. Yes, Dean, Quest can be a lot of fun. And then we have palm trees. Can't go to a Caribbean island without enjoying the palm trees. Oh, it looks like we may have a bingo here. Maybe a couple of bingos. Let me check here. Okay. Looks like, yep, John has a bingo. And I think Paul does too. Let me look at his. Yep, Paul's got a bingo. And let's see, Sharon missed it by 1. And let's see, Greg missed it by 1. Let's see, Danny, he missed it by a couple of 2 or 3. And Dean's, he missed it by a couple. So congratulations to Paul and to John, our winners. Way to go, guys. Okay, let me put up the winner chicken dinner here. Ta-da! And I'll get it on the spreadsheet here. Congratulations, John, on your first win. Now, in case you're unaware of what that means, I mean, we don't have prizes here, but I do have it set up. One of these days, I hope that we get big enough that we can have prizes, and then we'll actually give away stuff. But that'll take a little while at the rate we're growing. But I do keep track of everybody who wins on a spreadsheet, because once we get a big enough crowd, I'm going to have a special game called Gemstones and Jewelry. And it's going to be, the whole thing will be prizes probably from Effie Jewelry, because as you know, that is my favorite jewelry store. And hopefully we'll when we have that drawing or that game, at the end of the 3 games, we'll have a grand prize drawing, and everybody who is in the spreadsheet, there'll be a drawing. Right now we have 147 winners so far since we started playing. And we'll draw a number from 1 to 147, and whichever one wins, they'll be the ones that will win a very nice prize. Don't know yet what that prize will be, but we'll see at the time, and hopefully it'll be something well worthwhile. Let me turn off this thing here so you can see me. There you go. There I am. So I want to thank everybody who came here to play today. I hope you had a great time. I know I always enjoy it. So next week on Sunday, I've got some games to play. I'm not sure which one we're going to play. I might, I'm trying to see, where's my list of ones that I've got. I've got one for board games. I've got one for Florida Wildflowers. I got one for cruise ship loyalty clubs. I've got one for cruise ports. So we've got a few of them I've already got made up here. And we'll see if anybody has one in mind that they would like to play. Let me know. And the game shows are board games. Thank you, Dean. I like both of those. I'll have to choose between one or the other of those. Those were fun to create. Brought back a lot of memories. So I will choose one of those for next Sunday night at 8 o'clock. Be sure, if you haven't already, to click and subscribe. This way you'll get notified when we have a game. And click the thumbs up so that YouTube knows we got people watching and are enjoying this. Right now we're only showing 1 thumbs up, and that's probably me. So it helps if you click the thumbs up, so that YouTube can know that we're doing some good, and it helps to helps them to spread the word to other people. So in the meantime, you all have a wonderful week, and the weather looks like it's going to be beautiful, and we will catch you all next week. Thanks for coming.